Why is it that negativity just doesn't stick to some people? In fact, it's the exact opposite. They light up every room they walk into and inspire everyone they meet. You want to be around them. You want to soak up even a little of their energy. What's their secret? Or are they just naturally lucky? No. They have simply grasped one of life's most fundamental rules. As the famous psychologist Carl Jung once said, "The darkness you do not confront will return to you as your destiny." These are people who have made peace with their own darkness, their own fears, and the things that drain their energy, and who have learned to cope with them. In this video, we won't just list the 13 traits of these people. We'll go much deeper. We'll discuss how you can awaken each of these traits within yourself. Now, if you're ready, let's start with the first key that will unlock that boundless source of power within you. The inner sun, the energy that frees you from the need for validation. The first and perhaps most fundamental thing that great people have in common is this: they are their own suns. What does this mean? It means this: they don't have to orbit another star to stay warm. They don't reflect someone else's light to shine. They generate their own energy. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself honestly, how many people's approval did you seek today to feel good about yourself? A smile from your boss, a compliment from a friend, a like on social media. Did your mood drop when any of these didn't happen? Did your energy levels drop? If your answer is yes, this shows that control over your energy lies in the hands of others. You're filled when they turn on the tap. You dry up when they turn it off. It's like an endless cycle of begging for approval, begging for love, begging for energy. A high-energy person has broken this cycle. They know this. You can't offer water to someone whose cup is empty. You must fill your own cup first. So how? How do you generate your own energy? The answer lies in discovering what truly and deeply nourishes you. Regardless of what others think, these could be small rituals unique to you, like spending 15 minutes alone this morning drinking coffee. Maybe it's listening to your favorite music at full volume, or perhaps it's pursuing a hobby that no one else understands, but to which you've devoted yourself with passion. These are the fuels that nourish the sun within you. Others may see them as silly or a waste of time. It doesn't matter. This is your power plant. You set the rules. High-energy people create these little moments of energy throughout the day. They tune out others' applause or criticism and listen to the melody of their own inner voice. Because they know that when you shine with your own light, whether others notice you or not becomes irrelevant. You're already shining. When you take that first step, that is, when you cut off your dependence on the outside world for energy, something incredible happens. Since you no longer need anything, the people around you begin to be drawn to you. Because there is a universal law, need repels, while wholeness attracts. When you are whole in yourself, only those who are whole like you begin to enter your life. Those who are fragmented, those who want to drain your energy, can no longer approach you, because your light disrupts their darkness. The swamp of complaints, the art of setting boundaries. Now you know how to ignite your own inner sun. That energy, that warmth is within you. But there's a problem. There are things out there waiting to extinguish that light. Think of it like a swamp of complaints. Isn't there someone like that around you? Maybe even more than one. For them, the weather is either too hot or too cold. The economy is terrible, people are awful, their coffee is bitter, life isn't fair. Their conversations consist of nothing but a never-ending list of complaints. This is a swamp of complaints, and here's what makes it so dangerous. It tries to pull you in. When you suggest a solution, they'll list 10 reasons why it won't work. When you say something positive, they'll find and point out the flaw beneath it. After talking to them, you'll feel tainted, overwhelmed, and exhausted, because you've taken a step into the swamp and the mud has stuck to you. Do you know what a high-energy person does? They don't struggle with the swamp. They don't try to reason with it. They don't try to drain the swamp. Because if you wrestle with a pig in the mud, you'll both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. People like this go around the swamp. One of the most powerful tools for personal growth is setting boundaries. When someone starts complaining, they change the subject. They pretend to listen, but don't waste their energy on that conversation. If necessary, politely end the conversation and walk away. There's no need to be rude. You simply need to protect your own mental health and energy. This isn't selfishness. It's just like an emergency announcement on a plane. Put on your own oxygen mask first. When you stay energetic and positive, you're of greater benefit to those around you. If you're drowning in a swamp, you can't help others. Remember, as Carl Jung noted, people often project the shadows, their dark sides, that they cannot face within themselves onto the outside world in the form of complaints. It's not your job to solve their problems. Your job is to protect your own light. The first step in protecting yourself from toxic people and their negative energy is to choose not to enter their playing field. Stepping into the swamp of complaints is that simple and that powerful. So you've protected your energy, but that's just how life is. Things won't always go the way you want them to. Sometimes it rains. Sometimes a storm breaks out. That's when the third trait that sets high-energy people apart from the rest comes into play. The opportunity lens, changing your perspective. Now, I'm going to let you in on a secret. In reality, no event is inherently good or bad in and of itself. It's our perspective that gives it meaning. It's as if everyone were wearing invisible glasses. Some wear problem glasses with lenses as black as night. For them, rain means cancelled plans and mud. Getting fired is a disaster. A broken relationship feels like the end of the world. No matter where they look, they see only obstacles, problems, and shortcomings. A person brimming with energy sees the world through a different pair of glasses, the glasses of opportunity. For someone looking through these glasses, the falling rain becomes an excuse to read a book at home with a warm cup of coffee. This is the scent of the earth. It is abundance. Getting fired from a job actually gives them the chance to break free from a job they never liked and pursue their dreams. The end of a relationship is a valuable lesson in self-discovery and understanding what you truly want. The point is not to ignore these challenges. This isn't about acting like Pollyanna. It's about knowing that there's a hidden gift, a lesson, or an opportunity in every situation. Think of your mind this way. Your mind is a very powerful search engine, like Google or Yandex. If you constantly ask it, "What's the problem?" it will find and bring you hundreds of problems. But if you ask, "What kind of opportunity is there here?" it will find and bring you opportunities. Energetic people have made it a habit to ask their minds the right questions. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" they ask, "What is this situation trying to teach me?" This shift in your mindset changes everything in your life. You are no longer a victim. You are no longer at the mercy of events. You are an alchemist who can turn any situation to your advantage. Jung says that even the darkest moments hold the potential for the soul's transformation. He sees even depression as the soul trying to tell you something. Now ask yourself this. Which pair of glasses are you wearing? When you look at your life, do you usually see problems or opportunities? Now let's move on to the next step. This may be the hardest step, but it's also the one that will set you free the most. Letting go of the burdens of the past. The freedom that comes from forgiving the ghosts of the past. How much weight are you carrying on your shoulders? Think about it. That friend who let you down. That former boss who treated you unfairly. That ex-lover who broke your heart. Or perhaps the regret you feel over the mistakes you've made against yourself. All of these are like heavy stones chained to your back with invisible chains. You want to move forward, but they constantly pull you back. You can hear the sound of every step you take. They drain your energy. They condemn you to live in the past. As long as you carry this burden, you cannot reach your full potential. You'll remain stuck in the same place. What does an energetic person do? They choose to free themselves from these burdens. This is the magical act known as forgiveness. But wait a minute. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. Forgiving doesn't mean turning a blind eye to the injustice done to you. It also doesn't mean that there's no problem or that everything has been forgotten. Forgiving someone does not mean allowing that person back into your life. Forgiveness is not a favor you do for the other person. Forgiveness is an act you do for yourself. Forgiveness is refusing to drink that poison anymore. Because anger and resentment are like poison you drink while waiting for the other person to die. But this poison affects only you. It steals your energy, your health, and your joy. A high-energy person knows how valuable their energy is and refuses to waste it on the ghosts of the past. They understand this. The past is not a place to live in. The past is a school from which to learn lessons. You learn your lesson and move on. There's no point in staying behind. This is exactly what Carl Jung referred to as the journey of individuation. It is becoming whole by integrating the pieces of the past, traumas and complexes, and healing them. So how do you forgive? Think of that person or event. Accept the pain it made you feel. Do not deny it. Allow yourself to feel that pain one last time. Then tell yourself this: I am releasing this event's power over me. I will no longer carry this burden. I am taking my energy back. This is very important, and as always, you can even turn it into a manifesto by sharing your thoughts in the comments. It's entirely up to you. This might not happen overnight. You may need to repeat this many times, but every time you do, you'll feel another link in the chain break. You'll feel the weight on your shoulders lift a little more, and forgiveness will set you free. Once you're free of these burdens, the space that opens up will be filled with joy, peace, and new possibilities. That's when your energy begins to shift toward building the future rather than clinging to the past. The body is the temple and physical source of this energy. We've talked about spiritual energy and mental health, but there's another side to the coin, and if you ignore that side, even the strongest mind will eventually falter. I'm talking about your body. It is your vehicle in this world, your temple. Now be honest. How do you treat that temple? Are you giving it the highest quality fuel, or are you constantly stuffing it with junk food? Do you keep it active by moving it regularly, or do you let it get rusty by sitting in a chair for hours on end? Do you provide it with the sleep and peace it needs to rest, or do you constantly put it under strain with stress and sleeplessness? People who are full of energy know that the body and mind are an inseparable whole. They understand that one cannot be whole without the other. No matter how mentally strong you are, if your body is tired, your energy will be low. They know that taking good care of their bodies is not a luxury, but a necessity. This doesn't mean you have to be a marathon runner or a bodybuilder. No, it means doing the basics right. Quite literally, you are what you eat. Processed foods, sugar, unhealthy fats. These don't just cause you to gain weight. They also cloud your mind, drain your energy, and make you sluggish. In contrast, fresh, natural foods give you vitality. Movement is happiness. Going for a walk, dancing, stretching. When you move your body, natural happiness hormones called endorphins are released. Your blood circulation speeds up. More oxygen reaches your brain. You might be surprised at how even a 10-minute walk can instantly change your mood and energy levels. And sleep. Sleep is that sacred time when your body and mind reset and repair themselves. Quality sleep forms the foundation of your energy for the next day. Every hour you cut from your sleep is actually an hour taken away from your productivity, joy, and energy the following day. A person with high energy respects their body because they know that keeping strong this home in which their soul lives is a prerequisite for having high life energy. Every positive investment you make in your body is directly an investment in your spiritual energy. Your temple has been entrusted to you. How you care for it directly determines your quality of life. And now we're moving on to the next step that will take your energy even higher, perhaps the most enjoyable step. The curiosity muscles, the endless excitement of learning. Now a question for you. When was the last time you learned something new, purely out of curiosity, even though you thought it would have no practical benefit? After school ends and we enter working life, most of us fall into a trap. We stop learning. We keep spinning our minds in the same thought patterns, like a bus that travels the same routes every day. And after a while, the world starts to feel boring. Life becomes monotonous. The mind rusts and energy drops. Because the mind is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. A person with high energy is a lifelong student. For them, the world is a vast playground. There are countless topics to explore and innumerable skills to learn. They know that learning something new is like opening new pathways in the brain. This keeps the mind fresh, makes it flexible, and prevents it from getting rusty. This does not mean you have to pursue a PhD in quantum physics. It could be learning 10 words of a new language. It could be watching a documentary about the culture of a country you have never heard of before, researching how a flower grows, trying to play a simple musical instrument, or learning the recipe of a dish you've never eaten before could be examples. All of these are about activating your curiosity. Energetic people don't fall into the "I already know" trap. They know that from every person, every event, and every book there is something to learn. They ask questions, they listen, they research. This continuous state of learning gives them a childlike excitement and vitality. Their appetite for life never ends, because every day carries the potential to discover something new. Jung says that one of the most important parts of a person's spiritual development is being open to the unknown. When you close your mind to new possibilities, new information, you actually also stop your soul's growth. Now ask yourself, how are your curiosity muscles? When did you last run them? Just out of curiosity, what is a small thing you could learn this week? When you add this habit to your life, you will once again realize how colorful and exciting the world is. And this excitement directly feeds your life energy. The magic of the moment is not getting lost between anxiety about the future and regret about the past. Where does your mind live? For most of us, the mind is either in the past or in the future. It torments itself with regret over a mistake it made in the past. I wish I hadn't said that. Why did I do that? Or it worries about the uncertainty of the future. What if things don't go well? I wonder if I'll be able to pay the bills. The mind swings back and forth like a pendulum between these two time frames. But there is one place it misses during this swinging. Right now is the only place where life is truly being lived. The two biggest leaks of energy are regret about the past and anxiety about the future. They are like two hoses that drain power from the present and flow it into time periods that do not exist. A person with high energy has learned to stop this leakage. They know how to anchor their mind in the present moment. This is called awareness or mindfulness. It is a very simple practice, but it has the power to change life. In fact, we can try this right now. Just stop for a moment. Feel your breath, its entry and exit from your body. Notice the touch of the chair you are sitting on against your skin and the sounds in the room without judging them. This is what it means to come into the present moment. People with high energy often take these small breaks of returning to the moment throughout the day. When washing dishes, They only feel the temperature of the water and the smell of the soap. While walking, they notice their steps touching the ground and the wind brushing their faces. This does not mean stopping thinking. It means not allowing these thoughts to control you. Thoughts come and go, just like clouds in the sky. You are the sky. You are not the cloud. You can watch their passing. You don't have to get caught up in them and be dragged along with them. As you practice this, you will see how much your mind calms down and how much your energy increases. Because instead of spending your power on the ghosts of the past or the dreams of the future, you focus on the only real moment you are living in, namely, the present moment. It enables you to notice the small pleasures of life. The taste of a coffee, the smile of a friend, the warmth of the sun. Happiness is the sum of these small moments, and to be able to catch them, you need to be here. So, you have gathered your energy in the present moment. How can you make it grow even more? How can you turn it into something that will also inspire others? The answer is hidden in the next section. The paradox of generosity. The moment when giving is actually receiving. So far, we have talked about protecting your energy and raising it, as if energy were a valuable treasure that needs to be accumulated. But now I will tell you one of the most interesting rules of energy, a paradox. The more you give energy, the more it is the only thing that multiplies. At first this might seem illogical. What do you mean? If I give my energy to someone else, won't mine decrease? No, quite the opposite. Think of it this way. You have a candle. With that candle you can light thousands of other candles. Does the light of your candle decrease? No. On the contrary, it becomes even brighter. A person with high energy has figured out this secret. They are not an energy hoarder. He is a channel of energy. He is generous. But I am not only talking about generosity related to money. He is generous with his time. He listens to a friend without really playing with his phone, without his mind being elsewhere. He is generous with his knowledge. He shares something beautiful he has learned so that it can benefit others as well. He is generous with his compliments. He notices a beautiful outfit on someone, their successful work, or just a beautiful smile, and sincerely expresses it. He is generous with his thanks. He shows his gratitude to the waiter who serves him, the bus driver, and the people who make his life easier. These small acts of giving send a signal to the universe. I have plenty. I am in abundance. And the universe always responds to this signal. The more you give, the more comes to you. More love, more positive energy, more opportunities. Because people want to be around generous and positive people who give. Their energy is attractive. Negative and selfish people do the opposite. They constantly think about what they will get. They are an energy black hole. They only take, never give, and after a while, no one remains around them. They become lonely. Carl Jung says that one of the most fundamental human instincts is the desire to serve something greater than oneself and to find meaning. These acts of generosity are those small meanings you add to life. Now ask yourself, who can you give what to today? A smile, a thank you, 5 minutes of attention, just giving without expecting anything in return. You will see that that small act of giving will nourish you the most. It will raise your energy the most. Because the purest form of giving is actually the most powerful way of receiving. Resistance to drama, not being swept away in someone else's storm. Life is like a theater stage, and some people love to act out drama on this stage. For them, everything is a crisis. A tiny problem turns into a massive tragedy. They are constantly fighting with someone. They get offended at people. They plot intrigues. Their own lives are like an endless soap opera. And worst of all, they try to involve you in this series as a character. Did you hear what Aishi said? Can you believe she did this to me? Are you on my side? Hers? With sentences like these, they try to pull you into their own chaos. They expect you to take sides, to get angry with them, to become a soldier in their war. This is one of the most insidious traps of this energy. A person with high energy does not fall into someone else's drama. They don't even buy a ticket and watch the drama from the audience seat. They completely leave the theater hall. This does not mean being insensitive. If a friend truly has a problem, of course you listen and support them. But a problem is different. Drama is different. A problem wants to be solved, while drama wants to be fed. Drama feeds on attention, anger, and chaos. A person with high energy does not seek solutions. They make this distinction very well. They do not allow someone else's storm to disturb their inner peace. They remain calm. They are objective. They do not take sides, because they know that the moment they take a side, they are drawn into that storm. They protect their own mental and emotional space. They know this. Everyone is responsible for their own life. Everyone has to manage their own emotional reactions. You are not the trash can for someone else's emotional dramas. When you show this resistance, people who love drama will eventually move away from you, because you don't give them the fuel they want. They go and find new people who will burn with them. And your life becomes calmer, finds peace. Your energy, instead of being spent on meaningless battles and gossip, stays with you. The precious pure energy you can use for your own goals, your own happiness. Where you focus, your energy flows there. When you withdraw your attention from drama in the West, you also free your energy from that chaos. This is a step that will liberate you tremendously. The art of loneliness is the power of being self-sufficient. Are you afraid of being alone? For most of us, the answer is yes. We are afraid of silence, of being left alone with our own thoughts. That's why we constantly seek stimulation. We reach for our phones, turn on the television. We constantly make plans with others, as long as that silence, that moment of loneliness doesn't arrive. Because in that silence, things we don't want to confront come to the surface. Our fears, our anxieties, the lies we tell ourselves. A high-energy person does not fear loneliness. On the contrary, they need it. They know the enormous difference between loneliness and abandonment. Loneliness is a lack, a helplessness. Solitude, on the other hand, is a choice, a fullness, a strength. It is someone who can sustain themselves. To be happy, to feel good, they do not constantly need someone or something from the outside. The times when they are alone with themselves are for them a time of recharging, listening to themselves, and readjusting their inner compass. Just as a phone needs to be plugged into an outlet to charge, the human soul also needs to withdraw from the noise of the world and turn inward in order to recharge. Introversion, one of Carl Jung's most fundamental concepts, describes exactly this process of energy collection. According to Jung, extroverted people get their energy from interacting with the external world, while introverted people get their energy from their inner world and from time spent alone. A healthy soul is one that can establish balance between these two. People with high energy have managed to establish this balance. They enjoy drinking a coffee on their own, going to the cinema alone, taking a solitary walk in nature. These moments are not a weakness for them, but an act of self-love and self-respect. When you are able to be alone with yourself, something incredible happens. Your dependence on others decreases. You no longer use people as a tool to suppress your fear of loneliness. Your relationships settle on a healthier foundation because you are no longer dependent on them. You choose to be with them. This is the shift from the repulsion of neediness to the attractiveness of choice. Spend time with yourself. Allow that silence. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but behind that discomfort lies the opportunity to meet your best friend, yourself. When you establish this friendship, you will never truly feel alone again. The sacredness of the word no. a shield that protects your energy. No. It's not such a simple word, is it? Just 4 letters, yet for many of us, it is one of the hardest words to say. We fear hurting people. We fear seeming selfish. We fear missing opportunities. We fear not being loved. And because of these fears, we end up saying yes to things we don't actually want. You say yes to an invitation you don't want. You take on a task you don't want to do. You agree to help someone who drains your energy and time. Every time you say yes, you are actually saying no to something else. When you say yes to that invitation you don't want, you are saying no to a peaceful evening you would spend resting at home. When you say yes to that extra job, you are saying no to the time you would spend on your own project or your family. When you say yes to the person who drains your energy, you are saying no to your own mental health. A person with high energy knows that saying no has a sacredness. Saying no is not an attack. Saying no is a defense. It is an invisible shield that protects your energy, time, and boundaries. They know that a person who says yes to everything cannot truly say yes to anyone or anything, because their energy and focus are so scattered that they cannot fully focus on anything. In order to be able to strongly say yes to what truly matters, your passions, your loved ones, your own spiritual and physical health, you have to learn to say no to everything else that is unimportant. At first, this will be difficult. Maybe some people will be offended by you, but over time you will see that people who truly value you will also respect your boundaries. If they do not respect your boundaries, they are already people who should not be in your life. Saying no is not selfishness. Saying no is self-awareness. It is knowing the value of your own energy and using it wisely. When you start using this shield, you will be surprised at how you regain control of your life. We are now nearing the end. We will talk about the most important glue that underlies all these qualities and holds them all together. Purpose compass. The power of the question, why? So far we have talked about 11 different qualities, 11 different habits. Generating your own energy, setting boundaries, forgiving, being curious. All of these are very powerful tools. But there is a problem. If you don't have a compass, even the most powerful ship gets lost in the ocean. You need something that holds all of these qualities together, gives them meaning and direction. A compass. This compass is your reason, your purpose. What gets you out of bed in the mornings? Is it just paying the bills? Just getting through the day? Or is there something more than that? A high-energy person has found a reason in their life. It doesn't have to be something as massive as saving the world. Maybe your reason is providing a good future for your children. Maybe your reason is to be the best at what you do and leave a mark. Maybe your reason is to touch people through your art. Or maybe your reason is simply to become a better, wiser, more loving person. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is having a reason. Because that reason is your fuel in your hardest times. It is the inner voice that tells you to keep going when your motivation is gone, your energy is low, and you want to give up. A person who has a purpose is not like a leaf blown around in a storm. They are like a tree whose roots extend deep into the soil. The wind blows, its branches sway, but it does not collapse. Because what keeps it standing is a strong trunk, a purpose. Carl Jung says that one of the greatest tragedies in human life is meaninglessness. A life that has lost its meaning also loses its energy. Purpose is what gives life its meaning. Stop and ask yourself that most fundamental question. What is my reason? What am I here for in this life? What excites me? What problem do I want to solve? What do I want to add to the world? Finding the answer to this question does not happen overnight. It is a journey, a search. But the moment you begin that search, your life starts to change color, because you are no longer just living. You are living for something. This purpose compass shows you which path to take. It whispers which people to say yes to and which to say no to. It tells you where you should spend your energy. It is your wisest guide. And when you find this guide, you reach the final and most important trait. The ultimate secret of highly energetic people. If life is a game, be a player. We have come to the final step, summarizing all the things we've talked about, and perhaps the most important mindset of all. People with high energy do not take life with deadly seriousness. They know that life is a game. This does not mean they are irresponsible. On the contrary, they have understood the rules of the game. They know that sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. They know that when you fall, you need to get up, clean yourself off, and continue the game. They know that making mistakes is part of learning. Most of us live life as if every moment is a final exam. We punish ourselves with every mistake. With every failure, we feel as if the world is ending. This creates an incredible amount of pressure and stress on us. And this stress consumes our energy like a black hole. A person with a game mindset is lighter. They take themselves less seriously. They can laugh at their own flaws. They know they don't have to be perfect. This is a kind of enlightenment. It is accepting the fleeting prayer of life, its ups and downs. It is about stopping worrying about things you cannot control and focusing only on doing the best you can. Think about these 13 traits. They are all actually the skills needed to become a better player in this game. Being your own sun means generating your own energy for the game. Setting boundaries is keeping your playing field clean. Wearing opportunity glasses is a strategy for turning every situation to your advantage. To forgive is to let go of unnecessary burdens and run faster. Taking good care of your body is keeping your game vehicle at peak performance. Being curious is discovering new levels of the game. Staying in the moment is experiencing the game in its most intense way. Being generous is contributing positively to the game and earning more rewards. Avoiding drama is not wasting your energy on unnecessary side quests. Being able to be alone is taking a break to think about your strategy. Being able to say no is staying true to your game plan. Having a purpose is knowing why you are playing the game. And finally, being a player is remembering to have fun, experiment, and trust the process while doing all of this. When you raise your own energy, your frequency changes. And when you resonate, you begin to attract people, situations, and opportunities that vibrate at the same frequency as you. This is the basic form of the law of attraction. After this video, I want just one thing from you. Choose only one of these 13 traits, just one, and take a tiny step this week to bring that trait into your life. Now it's your turn. Real change begins with what you do after watching. That's why I want you to write in the comment section, which one of these 13 traits felt like it was said directly for you? Which one touched something deep in your soul? And, more importantly, which one feature will you choose to bring into your life this week to work on? I will read the comments you write one by one, because we are not alone on this path. To become part of this community where people who inspire each other and take steps to raise their energy come together, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon to turn on notifications, so you will never miss the next step that will transform your mind and your life. Remember, a journey of thousands of kilometers begins with a single step, and your journey starts today. This is a journey of becoming the master of your own energy and attracting the people into your life that you deserve. The game has begun, and you are at the beginning.